I wanted to address some criticism I've been getting on some of my videos, and it's very odd criticism. The most criticism I get, other than I'm kind of nutty, is when I say people are generally good. I expect criticism for some of my ideas being a little out there, even though I don't think they are. They're just a little before the time of science and the ability of science to bring it about. But it will happen. But the criticism that I'm being naive about how people are. And I guess this video is going to be a question to those of you that criticize me for this. There are bad people. And I suppose one of the questions is, why do you think there are bad people? And here's kind of my reasoning. I'm not a bad person, and let's assume you're not a bad person. And let's extend that to say the majority of people you know, or are friends, because you wouldn't befriend bad people, I wouldn't think. So you have a fairly large group of people that you know are good. They don't kill people at random. They don't rape little children. They don't steal from you. They don't steal from other friends, or else you would hear about it. They don't do all the evil things that people do. So my question would be, why are you and those people that you know good, and they, all those other people out there, are bad? What is the difference between you and them? Us and them. Let's pretend I'm your friend. What's the difference between us and them? Why don't I murder and rape and pillage and beat my girlfriend and steal, and why am I not, assuming I'm not, why am I not evil? And I'm going to propose the basic reason: education. And education is a broad term, including life experiences, environment around you. And as an example, if you take two children, one child is raised in a kind, loving home, given plenty of food and water and love, and has opportunities to learn and advance themselves, and they feel safe in their environment to do that. Let's take another child, the other child of the two, and he's in an abusive, sexually abusive, verbally abusive, beating, the worst of the worst. His parents are, there's only one mother, and she's a crackhead that prostitutes herself for drugs and gets beaten regularly. Not that there's anything against prostitutes, but just for drugs and minimum, lowest of the low. The Johns she brings home tend to rape her little boy as well and beat them both. And she tortures him by, instead of taking care of him and having a babysitter sit him while she's doing her job, she duct tapes him to a wall and leaves him there for hours on end. And that kind of thing. Horrible. The most despicable thing you could imagine. Now let's take those two children, the abused child and the not abused child. Who more than likely is going to be evil? As evil is thought of here. All the bad things, all the bad personality traits. I'm going to guess, and I haven't done the studies, but I'm sure that's been out there, and we all kind of know instinctively, the child that's been abused all of its life will grow up to be disturbed. And it will more than likely repeat those same characteristics to those around him. The child that doesn't have all these bad things, there's a chance that he could have a mental illness or obsess about something bad that happened to him, an event, and take it out. There are small chances, but by and large, the majority of children raised well in a loving home, the majority of them will not be evil, will not steal, murder, rape, kill, all the bad things. They won't do that. And the majority of, and I actually don't even say the majority of children that are abused are the same, because I'm going to go out on a limb and say the majority of even abused children are good. Because you could really take it both ways. An abused child could grow up and have brain damage and be mad and angry and aggressive and want to hurt others because they were hurt. Or, I'm going to say more than likely, they would never do that to somebody else because they've experienced it and they hated it. So they would never inflict that on somebody else. So, in both these cases, people tend towards good. And a lot of them will tend towards good in spite of having all this tragic stuff happen to them. So I guess I'm confused why I get so much criticism for saying people in general are good. What is it about people, and really I do know this already, it comes from the Bible and born with original sin, and we're all born bad, and we have to be forgiven and have to have our salvation in the big invisible boogeyman in the sky. But even the majority of them are good. So I guess I'm not understanding why a lot of people that comment on my videos have the mindset that most people are evil or bad. I'm willing to be educated on this, but I don't see the evil. There are evil things. There are people that do horrendous acts. I do realize that. I don't have my head in the clouds. There is still people that rape and murder small children. There are still armies that murder and torture, including our government, that murder and torture and kidnap and do all that horrible stuff. But if the majority of people were murderers, thieves, rapists, the world would look a lot different in general. And it's not like that. So I would love to hear why people think they are evil and why you think you happen to not be.